So my friend is trying to tell me if a trans man is dating a trans woman, that's a heterosexual relationship. And I'm just trying to get my friend to understand, no the fuck it's not. Once you fall under the umbrella of LGBT, which stands for trans, you're gay. Period. Now, the sexual encounter that they experience, meaning poles on holes, yes, that's a heterosexual sexual encounter. But the initial relationship is gay. Period.
And this is why I have a lot of problems with trans men and lesbians and studs, any gender-loving female, because they're not a part of the community. They bring a lot of their toxic beliefs into the community. This person is a trans man who is very anti-trans woman. And this is what I tell everybody. Everyone keeps saying, oh, but the lesbians are their own and the trans men are their own and why are they turning on y'all? And, it don't make sense because they're turning on y'all, so they must be valid in how they assess trans women. No. At the end of the day, people like this, they're still females. And there is a thing that females have when it comes to other females or female figures or women or femininity. You can be the biggest. I've seen some of the biggest, most masculine females who are gender loving, who are lesbians, same gender loving females who are the most homophobic, who get into relationships with women who have kids and then want to toughen the boy up because he's too sissy-like. He's too sassy. I've seen it. They're still women. They hate femininity. Let me just say this. If you took every gay person, every trans person, every male, or intersex person off the planet, they would hate each other. And we see it. First of all, they come into this community transphobic, but then they wanna be trans themselves. It's kind of like all the gay boys that will hate trans women until they start the transition themselves. But these women, these females, let me say, because I'm not going to misgender this person, even though I can't stand them. I despise them. And I had to block their content. I don't want to see that shit. Because they're literally gaslighting women. It kills me. But here's the thing. They're not even educated. Okay? They come in with the same ignorance as they had when they were cis. First of all, being trans has nothing to do with your sexual preference, you dummy. It has nothing to do. I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick of the most ignorant among us, the most lace red people among us having the biggest bullhorns, because they're pretty much brainwashing the whole society now. This dummy doesn't even realize that being trans has nothing to do with who you sleep with. There are so many trans people that sleep with the opposite sex. They're more attracted to the opposite sex. So, if a trans man and a trans woman have sex, that is a heterosexual couple. They are having sex with the opposite sex. I know this, I know they're gonna restrict this video because I'm saying the sex word. But I'm sick of this. This person's a dummy. You benefit from the trans umbrella, and you are a op to trans people. And it sickens me because, especially black people, y'all see that the best way to become a content creator that gets all these likes and views is by being transphobic. They're not dumb. They know who to come after. They know who to come after. You're a dummy. You're a dummy. You're sitting up on your platform, scooping up ignorant, reading the comments. They're ignorant and they know that they're ignorant. This is a grift. They're trying to get attention. They're clout chasers. But having intimate relations with the opposite sex makes you heterosexual. I don't care how you identify. I don't care how you show up in the bedroom. You are having sex with, I'm going to just say it, you're having sex with the opposite sex. That makes you straight, you dummy. I can't stand this person. And this is why I have a problem with a lot of you trans. And quiet as kept, this is why I have problems with you lesbians. And yes, no, lesbians and trans men are totally different. They're totally different. Okay? They're not the same. There are some trans men that are born wired to be trans. But this is the issue that I've had with y'all ever since Stonewall. Throughout the history, y'all have benefited from trans women and gay men doing all the heavy lifting, fighting, getting our heads bashed in by the police, getting our heads bashed in the inner cities. A lot of times by shit that y'all have instigated. You have benefited from the protections that we fought for. And you sit back with your privilege and your entitlement. And you turn on us. And you betray us. And you go back and you sit and you instigate all of the harm perpetrated against us. And then you have the nerve, many of you, to sit in these comments and play like, oh, we didn't know what we did. We didn't do nothing. If these men are down low, it's because they're afraid of each other. No, stupid. Y'all sit in these comments and y'all literally, whenever a trans woman is posted on any of these blogs, any gay man is posted on any of these black urban blogs, if you go in the comments, it's nothing. A majority of the transphobia and homophobia is coming from women. And quiet as kept. And here's another conversation that nobody's ready for. Trans attracted men. Yes, because they be in them damn comments. Okay, transphobic as F. Because they benefit from all of this demonization that trans people, trans women are getting. Because it inches us one step closer back into the closet with them. But the problem that I have with a lot of you lesbians, a lot of you queer women, a lot of you queer females, let me just rephrase it. A lot of you queer females is that y'all sit back, y'all throw the rock and hide the hand, y'all let us do all the heavy lifting for your liberation, and then once you get your liberation, you turn on us and try to push us below you. I'm sick of it. This DL conversation, everybody talking about the DL man, the DL man. There are more DL women. I venture to say that there are more DL women than there are DL men. And yes, there is a whole lot of DL men. There's millions and millions and millions of DL men. But for every 50 million DL men that are walking among us, there is twice as many females that are on the DL. Y'all have no problem putting your head in between another woman's legs and then getting on social media demonizing trans women, demonizing gay men, demonizing the men that are attracted to us, that desire us. Because at the end of the day, like I said at the beginning of the video, they're still female. There are lesbians, there are studs, there are trans men that get pregnant by straight men. And it says to me that y'all's homosexuality and your transness is fluid. Your heterosexuality is fluid. Your commitment to your same gender loving relationships is fleeting. You have trans men and studs and lesbians and bisexual women hating and shaming straight men that are attracted to trans women. Because they, at the end of the day, they may be in a whole relationship with a female, but at the end of the day, they know to plan ahead. Oh, there's going to probably be a day where I see a man that I'm going to want to get on top of. There's going to be a day where I may want to get pregnant. There's going to be a day when I might desire, just on a whim, I might desire some peen, or as I call it, Peter. I'm not going to call it dick anymore. I'm not going to call it penis. I'm going to call it Peter. Because that's what the old folks used to say. They used to call, ooh, girl, he had a big old Peter. We will call it Peter on this channel. Okay? There's going to come a day where they're going to desire and crave Peter. And they're not going to want the plastic one. They're going to want the male experience with the pheromones all in their nose and their face. They're going to want that man, no matter how masculine they are. They're going to want that big old man on top of them, inside of them, going ham. Okay? So that they can lay back in that pillow. Okay, and just go, oh, yes, daddy. With their Timbs on and all. How you doing? I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. How dare you? And you see how quiet they are. They have watched for the better part of the last 11 years. They have watched trans women be dragged. And I'm talking about the trans men. And they have sat back and said nothing. They have said nothing. And it's very telling. They approve of their transness. And a lot of them are just really, to me, let me shut up, I'm not going to say that. But they approve of their own transness. But they don't approve of actual transgender females. Not females, transgender women. They don't approve of that. You know why? Because there's competition. Even no matter how masculine and no matter how motherfucking gay they are, they still don't like femininity when it comes to anyone. Especially a male. Especially a trans woman. They could be out on the basketball court lifting weights, doing bench presses, doing pull-ups at the park with their homeboys. Because, you know, the black men, they love them some fucking lesbians and studs, okay? Because they're flattered by it. Because their ego is not fractured. They're never insecure about no lesbian or no stud. They're flattered. They are tickled pink. Which is why they protect them as well. But that's another conversation. These same masculine lesbians, women, females, no matter how masculine they are, they will still look at the most passable, beautiful, feminine trans woman as competition, as an op. No matter how much they similar in the same and fall under the same community and spectrum. I'm tired. 2026, I'm not isolating and I'm not shielding no transphobic lesbian, no transphobic or homophobic trans man or lesbian. I'm not doing it. 2026 is a new attitude. I'm calling this shit the fuck out. I am not sitting back and allowing transphobic and homophobic lesbians and studs and trans men to rock. Okay? Because here's the thing. I'm about to post a video that's going to fuck everybody's head up. Because that same bulldagger, that same big funky black bulldagger that was in cahoots with that white person claiming to be trans inside of Gold's Gym is a hypocrite. And all these lesbians are hypocrites because I saw something in the comments that said that they don't care about women's safety. They care about erasing trans women. Because I saw something that I screen recorded that I've been battling with, should I post this, for months now, for about 2 months. They don't care. I'm going to post it. I have to figure out what to do. It was an experiment. And I saw in those comments how these same women that claim that they care about the safety of women and what about women and we don't feel comfortable with a trans woman inside of the bathroom. But what about straight women not being comfortable with lesbians, masculine women in the bathroom, and how all the lesbians in the comment under that particular post were reading this woman that they assumed was a Christian female, trying to tell her that she was mentally ill because she didn't feel comfortable with masculine studs in the bathroom in the locker rooms with her and her children. But then those same people were turning around being transphobic against actual trans females, trans women, I should say. I'm going to post it. I just have to find a way to preface it because I have it saved. I have to find a way to give context behind it. And I'm going to post it, and it's going to blow all this shit up. And I want all of y'all to fucking repost it or whatever you want to do. Like it or whatever, because I'm showing you how hypocritical and how evil a lot of these females are. And the whole reason why they don't like trans women is because they can't take it. It's competition. It's why they don't like each other. It's competition. It's why they're now starting to attack the gay boys. It's competition. How dare you have a fat butt and thick thighs and you're a man and you identify as a man. Look at the situation in the supermarket where that woman, Shy Brittany, was attacking that gay boy. Why? Because you saw him in that fitted tracksuit with them gray sweats, and you probably was attracted to him at first glance, and then when you saw a little swish, and then you saw his body, the way that body was, and all that mousse behind him, you lost your mind. You lost your mind. And the funny thing is, that person looked like they in the gym every day. If you was to commit to being in the gym every day, you can have a body like that. Y'all hate people for the work that they put into their own lives. And you're jealous and you're hateful towards them. But I'm going to post that video. Because it was right under, what's her name? Tish. The Tish girl. Who now, I did not tell you. I told y'all videos back, months back, that bitch and that motherfucking quote-unquote white trans woman, it was all a motherfucking stunt. And she turned real quickly on trans women. And not for nothing, she turned on black people. Because she's in the comments talking about the same thing Nikki was like, why do we have to talk bad about white people? Why do we, you know why? And I'm going to tell you, they're traitors. But that's another story. All I'm going to say is 2026, I am not coddling. I'm not supporting. I'm going to call these bitches out. All these lesbians, all these studs, all these trans men that are actual men, but they were born female, I'm calling you bitches out too. Because y'all not going to sit up here while the trans women are fighting just to try to be, to be included in public spaces. Not saying that we have to be, not saying that we are looking for acceptance, but we are hanging on by a fucking thread. I'm not going to allow y'all to take what little power and rights that we have away from us. We are suffering as a community thanks to this type of rhetoric. From people that benefit from the trans ideology, the trans community, the trans umbrella. Bitch, fuck you. Fuck you.